minutes, see if a couple more people join in here. It's kind of early, so I don't know how many will get in here, but it'll be posted afterwards. We'll post it as a podcast and then on YouTube, and then it'll be up for 24 hours as well. So
cool, bro.
Yep. So let's give it a minute. Train yet today?
Yeah, I'm training today, man. About to go soon.
Yeah, same here. After we finish this, I'll be going.
Sir, about to hit some chest today.
Oh yeah. It is. I'm doing a push day, but it's like shoulder focused. So.
Okay. Sick, man.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, we can just kick this off. It'll be posted, so I guess if people miss it, they can just watch it later. So let's just go into tell us who you are. I mean, obviously you're a new IFBB pro. Not a lot of people might know who you are yet. So where are you from? How long you been training? Just give us a little background about you.
So I'm from Los Angeles, but I reside in the city of Downey. I've been training for about 5 years, going on 6 years. But I started bodybuilding and like competitive bodybuilding probably like a little bit over a year and a half now, almost like a year and 7 months.
Well, it's not that long. Kind of fresh into the game.
Yeah.
All right. What about any history? Like when you were growing up, you playing sports, stuff like that?
Yeah, I've always played sports ever since I was young. I grew up playing football. When I got to high school, I realized I was kind of small to play ball, so I got into wrestling. And I wrestled my freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I did wrestling for a couple of years. There's not a lot of weight training in wrestling, but so more conditioning.
Yeah, exactly. So you're from LA. Where do you train in LA?
I sometimes go to Fit Nation. It's in Norwalk, but I usually train at 24 Hour Fitness.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love Fit Nation. I used to live out there for a little while. And I was living there in Palm Springs, and I used to always make the drive to Fit Nation. Favorite gym by far.
That's a nice drive, bro.
I
love Fit Nation, though, man. There's honestly the environment, the machines they got there, the equipment. It's seriously.
It's just that whole atmosphere is just it's like nowhere else.
Yeah,
I'd go there over Gold's Venice. All right. So, what about your competition history? What was the first show you did?
My first show was last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. It was a Muscle Contest Fit World. I placed third in my first show.
Really? That's all. So first year, as in 2017, last year was your first show. Damn.
Yeah.
So you haven't even been competing for more than 2 years. That's crazy, man. Good for you.
Thank you.
So what else? Is that the only show you did before Nationals? So you did that and qualified, or did you do a couple more?
Nationals was my fifth show. So after I did Fit World, I put on a little size and I did Contra Costa up north. And after Contra Costa, I placed second in Contra Costa. And after Contra Costa, I did the Ferrigno Legacy, where I took second as well. And then before I hit the national stage, I kind of wanted to get a first place under my belt. So then I did, at the beginning of the year, I did the Fit Expo.
At the LA Fit?
And I also took the overall.
Oh, sorry, I lost you for a sec. You say you did the LA Fit was your last one you did? Yeah,
I did the LA Fit Expo, and right there I placed first, and I also took the overall for men's physique.
That's awesome. Yeah. Those muscle contest shows are stacked. I did a couple of them, and there's always good competition, especially in your class A, right?
Yeah,
you're a class A guy?
Definitely a lot of competition, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Always stacked.
It makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, and you pick some good shows. Contra up north, that's probably the best one to do up there, from what I've heard. Competition is stiff, and it's awesome. So, what did you do to improve from your national shows or from your regional shows to get to the national stage? What kind of improvements did you make to your physique?
Well, first of all, I really had to work on my stage presence. I have like this thing with like stage fright almost. I get really nervous when I hit the stage, and I get the urge that I need to pee, and I get all shaky and stuff. But honestly, it's a really good feeling nervous like that. I don't think anything else makes me feel that way, so I just embrace it. But as far as improvements, I really had to work on my upper chest and my back. And that's still something that I need to work on, especially now that I'm on the pro level.
Right.
I really need to improve my upper chest and my back if I want to keep up with the big boys.
Well, I mean, looking at, I have your picture, your men's physique news pulled up, and looking at the comparisons, I still think you look like you have a pretty solid upper chest compared to a lot of the other guys in your class. And the class at junior nationals I'm looking at is just stacked, man. It was crazy. So good job on that for sure.
Thank you,
Even
man.
your back, even your back development, it looks very complete. So, are those going to be your main focuses before getting on into a pro show, or
Yeah,
how about that?
I really want to get a thicker back.
Okay.
I want to get like a bigger back, and I want to get my waist a little smaller. I might consider doing like a waist trainer. I've never done it before, but I heard it really helps.
Right.
But yeah, primarily it's just the back and my upper chest. My upper chest needs to grow. Definitely.
Gotcha. Well, I was going to ask you, I was like, it seems to be a common thing these days with people rushing to get to the national stage. Your situation, I would say, is a little different because you started out placing top 3 your first show, and but do you feel like a lot of people seem to rush to the stage before they're ready? Just because they're nationally qualified, they're rushing to get to nationals, and get third, fourth call outs, and it's kind of, what do you think about that?
I completely agree with you, man. My coach wanted me to go to nationals after Contra Costa. And I told him, like, honestly, for me to feel comfortable hitting a national stage, I wanted to win a first place. I never planned on winning an overall, but that's definitely a problem. Like, a lot of coaches kind of, they're trying to make a name for themselves, so they kind of just put their athletes out there when their athletes aren't really ready. And, that's how you get, like, I don't know, man.
I know, that's definitely something I've noticed, too.
Like, you need to win, like, a first place or an overall, at least if you want to keep up with the national level, It's
right.
Those are the big boys, man. You can't go in there looking sorry,
Uh-huh. I mean, just the conditioning level on some of these guys is just like, if you want to pay the double entry fee to a national show, then, go for it.
That too, man. If you want to spend the money, go right ahead. But
I do think it's the coaches, though. A lot of times, I do really think it is. They want to, I got this client on a national stage. It's just kind of like, it's just advertisement for them, and they don't really give a shit about the kid that's going up there and getting fourth call-outs.
Exactly. But I mean, it's up to the athlete too, man. Like, you can easily tell your coach, like, nah, coach, I'm not ready.
Right.
Like, I'm not feeling it. Like, it's really up to the athlete at the end of the day, how you feel and how you think you can present yourself. Like, if you think you can keep up in the national level, then by all means, man, go right ahead. But at the end of the day, it's up to the athlete and how the athlete feels and how they think they're going to do. I mean, the coach is just a coach.
That's true. I'll give you that. That's true. My coach, he wasn't really pushing for me this year, but I was like, I got a couple first place finishes this year, and I was just like, I still like looking at some of the guys and around my height class. I'm like, I want to take another year, So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, how old are you?
I'm 29.
29? Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. So you're still young into the game. You look about 22.
Thank you.
All right. So who's your coach? You said you're working with the coach.
What was that?
Well, the coach you're working with. You mentioned you're working with the coach. Who are you working with?
My coach is Coach Norm. He's with Team NJFF.
Okay.
He's from up north, like around the Sacramento area.
Gotcha. Are you from up north, or do you just
No,
just
from
SoCal?
He used
from
to train
SoCal,
out
born
Nation, actually, and that's how I got introduced to him.
Okay.
And back then, I never wanted to compete, and then he was moving up north, and he was like, "Man, you should just give it a try." And here I am now.
Yeah, man, it clearly worked out for you, right?
Definitely.
So what's the next plan? Have you guys discussed what you're going to do next, going to an off season? What's the next plan as an IFBB pro now?
Well, I never really consider my off season. I call it my gain season. So right now it's just a season of growth. I'm going to work on my chest and my back like hardcore. I'm going to try to put on a little size, and I want to wait till after the Olympia. So maybe kind of make my debut in October just to feel stuff out, see how I feel as a pro, see what the competition's like. Right. And then depending on how I do from there, and we'll see, I really want to hit the Arnold stage though. That's probably my goal for next year.
Do they have? I don't can't remember. Do they have Pro Physique at the Ferigno Classic?
The
Or they're not doing? Or did
Ferrigno,
they?
yeah, the
They're actually.
Ferrigno is
Didn't they
over with
announce they're
now.
not
They
doing
have
it
like the
anymore?
Legion Sports Festival now. It's in Long Beach.
Gotcha. Okay. So I know that was towards the end of the year. I'm trying to think what shows are at the end of the year, and I know Muscle Contest has a couple of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So you'll have something to choose from. Gives you a couple months. But I mean, shit, man. Looking at your photos, I think you can definitely hang with the big boys right there. I think that's one big thing too. Is a lot of people, they go to the national stage, and even if they can win, they're not at that level yet where they should be on the pro stage. Even though they got the pro card, they're not at that level. I think even though you say you're training what 6 years, you said.
Yeah.
You're definitely right there at the big guys. It's just small tweaks from here. So good for you, man. Let's see. What about sponsors? You got any sponsors you're working with?
Actually, right now I only have a protein sponsor. It's called BioHealth Nutrition.
BioHealth Nutrition?
Yeah, I love their protein, man. I used their stuff before I even got sponsored, and getting sponsored by them honestly was a dream come true. So I'm
That's
just
awesome.
pumped. I love their protein.
Where are they out of? Do you know? Are they from California?
Yeah, they're actually from like San Dimas based, so they're really local.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Good for
Yeah.
you. So they do expos and stuff like that?
They haven't started. It's a rather small company. I think they only started like their online stuff probably like a little bit over a year ago, and they've been around for I think 3 or 4 years. So they're rather small, but they're gonna start doing expos and stuff real soon. Gotcha.
Well, now they got you as the face, so help them out maybe, right?
Yeah.
All right. What else we got in here? So outside of bodybuilding and physique competing, what do you do? Do you go to school, work, stuff like that?
I recently graduated from UC Riverside with my bachelor's of arts in psychology.
Okay.
I was working for a nonprofit organization for the state. I was mentoring foster and at-risk youth, so probation and foster youth. I was just kind of showing them how to live life as a normal human being, like getting a job, going to school and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I kind of got over that, and right now I'm kind of focusing on personal training, just because that gives me a little bit more time to train with myself. And I have a personal passion for fitness and helping people. And that's kind of what I want to pursue in my life. So that's kind of the way I'm going right now.
Now, are you doing in-person training? Are you doing online or both?
I'm doing in-person right now. I haven't really got the ropes of how online training works, so I don't want to offer that to people if I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll eventually get that started soon.
That's good. I think a lot of people they do one show and all of a sudden they're a coach, quote unquote.
Yeah, you get that a lot. No, that's not me, man. I don't want to do that.
All right. Well, maybe in the future, right? That's cool.
Definitely.
Are you training out of 24?
No. I train some clients here and there. I'm not supposed to, but I train them either here or Fit Nation. Okay.
So if people want to get in touch with you for training in the LA area, should they just send you a message?
Yeah, definitely. Just send me a DM. I'm more than happy to drive around, just as long as it's not too far. And if it is far, I'm sure we can work something out.
Cool. So hopefully we can. That was my next question. I was going to ask if people want to get in touch with you for coaching, but you said you don't do that, which is that's cool.
I've been doing my research. I kind of have an idea of it, but I don't want to put myself out there and tell people I'm a certified online personal trainer.
Is that something you plan on doing into the future? Is that something you plan on getting into?
Yeah.
I think I think it's definitely great, especially if you want to be. It's something you can do to make this a full-time thing, where you can focus on your training, your nutrition, and just kind of be surrounded by the whole environment at all times, not to worry about working a 9 to 5 at the same time. So
yeah,
man. You have any other questions? Anything you want to talk to the people about? Some advice for maybe guys coming up. Since you've kind of just gone, you've actually you've done a handful of regional shows. You did junior nationals. Any experiences that you want to share with people that might help them out?
Honestly, man, you just got to invest in yourself. You got to, a big thing that I'm a strong believer in, trust the process. A lot of people get these coaches or they have this idea of what kind of prepping for a show or competitive bodybuilding's like. And when they're like 2 or 3 months in, or a couple weeks into their diet, they start cheating, or they look at themselves in the mirror and they're not happy. You just gotta trust the process, because if you hire a coach or if you're doing something for some reason, the results aren't gonna come right away. It's just gotta trust the process, because the results will come. And if you have a good coach, then he's gonna dial you in correctly. And just gotta continue to work, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the work you put in.
It takes time. People expect the overnight results, and
Exactly.
it's not. I personally, I don't see any change in my physique till I'm 3-4 weeks into my diet, and
Exactly.
people are getting 2 weeks in and like cheating, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I think that's just why it's not really made out for everyone. A lot of people compete, but a lot of people aren't ready. Just because they're on stage doesn't mean they should be there. I think a lot of the time. And what's the hardest thing you face in your prep?
The hardest thing is, I would honestly, I would have to say, is just being consistent with my diet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have a problem dieting. It's no big deal. But having to eat all the time, it gets hard sometimes. That's
and
probably
going
the
out
hardest
to eat
part
and stuff.
Like, I love training, so that's no big deal for me. I've grown to love cardio, so that's no big deal for me. It's honestly like sometimes it takes me like an hour and a half to 2 hours to eat one meal.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, like, I have big meals, and that's probably like the hardest part for me. It's just being consistent with my eating.
So off season's got to be even a little more rough than
Yeah,
getting
definitely.
those meals in.
Definitely.
So do you have a girlfriend, wife, fiance?
I have a girlfriend. I've been with her for 10 years, so she's pretty much my wife.
Gotcha.
That's probably the second hardest part is
that's what I was getting at.
While I'm on prep, because I'm not gonna lie, I turn into a jerk. I get hangry most of the time, especially like when I get like 2 weeks out, and like it just gets pretty bad. So that's probably the second hardest part.
That's what I was kind of getting at. I was going to say, does it? It's tough. It affects relationships. It's a selfish sport, and sometimes they want to go out to eat and stuff like that, and you're eating out of Tupperware. They're eating.
Yeah, but she's a power lifter, so she just eats and eats and eats. And sometimes I just have to eat, like, I'm eating tilapia and asparagus, and she's over there eating like a double with fries. I'm like, damn, I wish I could eat that.
Yeah.
You just gotta learn to just stick through it. Stick to your diet, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna pay off the most.
Right. Exactly. Another question. How do you choose your shorts for the show, and where do you buy them from?
Choose my shorts? I usually ask my coach what the judges are looking for, but I've kind of been just digging those dark sport shorts.
They're killing it. They're killing it with those.
And the only thing I don't like about them is that everyone has them, and like I was standing next to like 2 guys during comparisons that had the same shorts as me, so I was like, damn, I wish you had different shorts. But other than that, there's 6 shorts.
That's kind of it's dark sports taking over. A couple years ago, I did my first show. Everyone was wearing like the Live Fit board shorts that like Jeremy Buendia was wearing at the time, and now everyone's rocking the dark sport. But who knows? Maybe you'll get hooked up with them after rocking them for the show, right?
To, man. Their clothes is on another level.
They're tight, yeah. And I think they're they're somewhere near LA too, actually.
Yeah, I think like Torrance, Torrance or like Hawthorne, somewhere like that.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies that are on their team. So that's cool, man. All right. We got any other questions? Let's see what we got going. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, man. It was great chatting with you. If you need anything else you want to let people know, I'm going to get in touch with you. Your Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is IFBBPro_FitLife_ with Loui. If you guys have any questions, I hear from a lot of